Okay, guys. So I'm going to give you guys a little update on some of the three majors. Obviously, I would do believe we are in altcoin season. However, the reason I've stayed out of Ethereum and XRP, and I haven't even touched Bitcoin, is because I simply don't have enough money to make any real percentage gains on Bitcoin. So I stay out of that, but I do use it as a true market indicator. Anytime Bitcoin pumps, it's likely altcoins are going to pump a little bit after. Sometimes they pump before. I think it really depends on the pair. So quite a few have pumped well before Bitcoin, although Bitcoin has been in pump since March, and that low. Kind of pissed off I didn't buy it at 3,800. I let my emotions get to me. I freaked out. I had a buy at 5,500. It popped way below that. Didn't know to hold. So made a tiny bit of money. Could have made a lot more. But that's life. You learn. I've learned that no matter how low things drop and when there's real blood and I feel scared, I should be holding even when I can see, continue to drop. So anywho, we're going to do a Bitcoin update, Ethereum update, XRP update. The reason I'm going to start with Ethereum actually is because I've been out of the Ethereum market, even though this is a major buy for me based on percentage gains over the next 5 years, because I've noticed a couple of things. And, obviously, looks like we've kind of seen like an Adam and Eve bottom here. Bam, bam, it's got a little higher of a low here, which is very bullish, especially with these serious wicks onto the upside. Now, if you were to just look at this, you would say, dang, that looks bullish. But the reason I haven't bought in yet is because when I look at the chart, I can actually draw a direct line exactly where we're seeing resistance right now. So I saw it pump to 430 again in 1 week, drop next week, this week actually currently up to 370, 410 drop. And as you can see here, every single time it's gotten to this range, it's never made it really above. Here we actually saw a pretty nasty wick one time when it did get above, and so that probably liquidated a ton of longs before making its next rally up. That's why you don't want to do that type of stuff. You just want to buy when you know it's right time to buy, and sell when you know it's the right time to sell. But that being said, you can see here this became a major support, pumped to 850 before finally dropping back through, and this is resistance. So officially, this is probably the strongest resistance we need to overcome. And so the reason I haven't bought yet is because we haven't overcome it. And sorry. And until we do overcome it, I'm not going to buy. Unless a candle closes up here in the 300 to 400 range, closes on the weekly, I'm not buying, because that means it could go down. So where could it go down to? And again, we're keeping this technical analysis simple. I'll go over a few other indicators. Realistically, as you can see here, these 4 candles with the wicks, when it can't break above $305, it's not going to 400. So this is a very simple token, and so we're here at 300. Realistically, I believe it could go to there. Other signs point to it being bullish for the first time since. So if we were to just delete these lines here, the first thing that would make it bullish, in my opinion, would be the Ichimoku. On the weekly, you can see here we are officially the TK cross right here. The blue line went above the red line for the first time in quite some time. It's sitting in the cloud. However, I would like to see it bounce off of this, which would mean the $300 to $260 range before climbing all the way to the other opposite side of the cloud. Knowing how bullish crypto can be, I would be willing to buy here. If it pumps to 478, 500, I'm going to buy. Why? Because I know it's likely going to go to 800, 770, this line right here, before it sees any resistance whatsoever. So very bullish Ethereum. I just still would like a better buy in this range before I go to this range. It doesn't mean I won't buy here. It simply means I'm waiting for confirmation. We're in the middle. So that's why I've stayed out of that. From this pattern, you can see for the first time since the last bull run, on the weekly, we're seeing it turn green. So that's actually huge. It's breaking above. That's huge. That's bullish. Again, we could see it drop to 260 to 300. So that's why I want to wait for a buy. I really want to buy right. I don't care to buy right now if it's going to go up, which I do believe it will. And then from the TEMAs, right, the EMAs, 8, 13, 21, 55, 40 to 200, you can do that. I'm not going to. You can see here, for the first time in a long time, we saw a cross here. So if you would have bought at the 224 range, you would have been happy. I didn't see that. Sad. XRP, kind of in the same boat. I've been out. If you look at this chart, it looks, again, kind of bullish, but very bearish over the long term. And I don't know what it is with, this token in particular, whether it gets pumped and dumped or what. If I were to draw that line, though, you could see we officially broke above this major resistance, touched here, touched here, touched here. This was just, huge bull trap, or a lot of money for some people. So you can see here, we have officially broke above that. But the reason I haven't bought is because I'm looking at a couple of different things. I'm looking at different resistances. The first one would be in this, as you can see here, actually exactly where we're at, the 29.5 range. XRP likes to wick, like get here in this range, right? You can see 3 separate times. So it's really trying to break through. However, if it struggles for another week to break through this range, it pumps 32, 33. I'm not buying that. That's just buying a top if that's the case. I'm buying when I see it break above and actually a candle goes there. Now, if the next week a little candle goes back down to this range, I'm selling. Like, yes, I lost a little bit of money, but I'm not playing stupid. You can see here, this acted as a major support for so long, and now it's a major resistance. So for that reason, I've been out. Where do I believe it could go? Honestly, it's in the cards here. But if I were to just draw kind of, another trend here, I would say it can drop all the way back down to 10 cents, 6 cents, 9 cents. So that's why I've been saying that of XRP. Until it breaks above this range, I ain't buying. If I were to look at the Ichimoku, we're literally hitting on the dot this huge, I believe it's called a Kijin, along with this huge cloud. If it pumped into the cloud, that's when I get a little excited. That's when I see it, okay, pumping to $1.73, you name it. So not time to buy XRP on that. We're still in this deal. It could pump right up to here, 34 cents, would not bother me. EMAs, again, very bearish. XRP, bearish. Let's just do one Bitcoin update, and then I'll do some alts. So you guys let me know what alts you guys want. We'll do an update. This is probably the most bullish in my opinion. However, I'm only bullish to about 14K, maybe 20 if we're really, lucky. There's a million different things you could do and see with this. I remember Peter Brandt was saying, if you study a chart long and hard enough, you can basically get it to say whatever you want it to say. And I feel like so many people do that in the crypto space because you have so many amateur investors and, the market cap is small. So institutions have kind of stayed out of crypto for a while. But this is probably the cleanest chart, I would say, in terms of just knowing kind of what's going on. You can see here, obviously, little traps, a few traps right here, but this would be the true indicator right here, this line. So you can see here, again, it's another resistance, tried to break through, resistance, when it did pump through and broke at 10, it went to 12. Now, let's look at, that's one resistance, right? If I were to do another trend line, you could do it from the bottom down. We're kind of, and let's actually do that real quick. I don't know if it'll put it back on there. It will. Let's see here. I'm going to do another line here, and the reason I'm doing this line is you can see it's pretty even across the board. If I really wanted to get technical, I believe I could go from here. Right? I think that's probably the true trend. Yeah, that's close to the true trend as you can get there. You can see here that major resistance at one point. Again, I can do it, a little bit cleaner. Pump right through, major support. When it hit this support line, went all the way to 20K. When it dropped below the support line, bro, there was too much demand at this range of 3,000 to 3,200. When it pumped right back above this line, you can see a huge candle. All of that pump pressure went up to 14K. So this is kind of the range that I'm looking at. Now we're outside of that range. So as you can see here, I would reasonably like a buy within, off of this trend now to confirm. However, since Bitcoin is that bullish, we really don't know. I don't think it might ever go there again. So that's the first thing. If we're to look at the Ichimoku Cloud, This is what's scary to me, guys. I mean, this is a weekly chart. So I'm not looking at anything else other than the weekly chart. Number one, we haven't seen the TK cross. Okay. Two, we're hitting this resistance in this week. If someday it closes below here and it wicks again, third week, it's probably going to try again. I've seen this over and over and over again. Try to break through again. If it cannot break through, it's going down. However, knowing what I know about Bitcoin and how bullish it can be, I could easily see it pumping to 14K, wicking hard next week up, probably sell off to this 10,000, 500 range. You'd be surprised what happens this next week or two. I'm very bullish for the last reason. You know, it broke above that trend line. I'm very bearish for the Ichimoku from what we're currently seeing. Also, the economy sucks. This is a very, very volatile asset. It is still, in my opinion, not a real store of value. So for that reason, that's where it's kind of iffy, especially with the economy. However, we did break above. We've been above, and I don't think this is a really good indicator on the weekly because every single time it's in any one of these ranges or breaks above, it doesn't really indicate well. So I don't think the GC is a really good one. The EMAs, you can see if you would have bought when all four crossed over here, you would have bought, you know, in the $9,000 to $8,000 range. If I were to add the 200 EMA, I don't really think it make much of a difference. You can see that's always a pretty strong support. Anytime it touches this thing, man, you should be buying, period. I mean, if you were to buy anytime it touched this line here, you would have made money. So that's just something you guys should think about, 200 EMA. So let me know what you guys think of that video. If you want any updates on any other crypto assets, I know we've got a lot here. I know we've got Chainlink. I know we got Numera. You know, I like Numera. I like RSR. I like EWT. I think Jordan's really good at, you know, talking about these cryptos. CRO, I think is great. I would sell MCO at this point. Any coins you guys want me to go over, I can do a technical. If we're looking at Chainlink real quick, just because this is one of my favorites, you can see I've had this line here since literally, I believe, the 90-cent range. And I mean, who would have thunk this is like the perfect indicator of where price is going, how low it's going to go, how high it could pump. I think we could easily see 14 bucks, 13.50 before we maybe even higher. It could pump to 20. Like I think Shanice was saying, before we see it drop back down to find its next support. But Chainlink, I'm easily one of the most bullish on that one. And so, yeah, happy trading, guys. We'll talk soon. Bye.